Hello, everyone, and thank you for clicking the button to view the CareRight demonstration on TMS, or better known as transcranial magnetic stimulation. Now, transcranial magnetic stimulation is quite unique and specified in mental health. However, if this is not something you conduct, this demonstration would be a really good view and application of how CareRight can be configured to deliver upon any type of workflow. So whether your workflow is administrative, clinical, related to surgical, fertility, any other specialization, we can learn your business process or your patient journey, and then CareRight can be configured to deliver a streamlined workflow to enable upon those requirements. But today we're talking about TMS, so let's get started. So I've shared my screen. You should be able to see the CareRight demo. This is one of my demo instance, and just letting you know, at the moment, I haven't activated this demo instance with a MIM subscription, so that's just why I have an error message there. But embedding a subscription would get rid of that error message. So this all starts, and I should also explain that this is just one particular workflow, or one example of how you could conduct a TMS workflow through your clinic. If you want to do things differently, or if your business process is different, we can understand those requirements and then further configure CareRight to deliver upon those. But this particular one all starts with adding a new patient. Now I'm just going to think of a name I don't have in here. Maybe it's Robin Williams. So I'm searching CareRight for Robin Williams. No, I don't have one. Would I like to use these names to create a new patient? Yes, I do, please. So I'm just going to put in the really basic requirements just for a nice speedy demo today. So date of birth, what clinic are they coming into, and name and sex. So I could add more, I won't. I'm just going to hit create patient. Now this workflow kicks off. Typically within CareRight, as soon as you add a new patient, you'd go to that patient's account, but this workflow was kicked off and instead taken us to a CareRight smart form. Now, a quick introduction on CareRight smart forms. We can create any type of data gathering electronic form that you'd like to use within CareRight. They can be location-based, they can be patient-based. You can send them out to the patients for online completion. You can use them in clinic. So you could probably imagine smart forms can be used from anything from, well, this demo is a particular data gathering exercise within a workflow, but they could be used as a consult note, an OBS record, an operation report, a health questionnaire, a COVID questionnaire, anything you want. And you're going to see some of the basic functionality here of smart forms. So this smart form all kicks off. First of all, for TMS, we need a professional contact. So I'm just going to go new contact. And for this workflow, we want to register the Transport Accident Commission as the practitioner and then create that referral. Now, if I was in clinic and I was doing this properly, I would go through and continue to fill out all this information. But for a nice speedy demonstration today, I won't do that. And instead, we're going to hit approve on the first step of the TMS workflow. Okay. Now, once we have done that, and you'll note I'm still in the patient's record here, which means all these options on the left-hand side relate to this patient. If I go down to workflows, I can see a summary of all workflows that this patient is part of. It's almost like a workflow dashboard, patient-based. So we can see this patient has been entered into the TMS workflow, and the stage that this patient is at the moment is called assess patient suitability. So let's do that. Now, workflows can be passed between different users or different groups within your clinic or business. I'm just going to do it all myself today, but you could imagine that once an admin person had added that new patient record, maybe this is now sent to another group within your business for completion. So I'm going to hit edit. I can see that we're at the stage assess patient suitability. Everything's audit stamped by user, date, time. Just for a demo today, I'm going to say that this patient is suitable, and maybe I'll just add a note saying suitable. Okay, and we're going to hit approve. Excellent. So back at the workflows, we can see that this patient is still within the TMS workflow. But if I now go to the appointment calendar of CareRight, and I'm just going to search by all providers here, and I'm going to go to today. I'm going to go to waitlist, and I can see that a waitlist entry has been added for Robin. So that means that this patient's suitable for TMS, and we now need to find a date and a time to book Robin in. Now, whether we have Robin on the phone or whether we already know what Robin's date or time preference is for that first appointment, all we have to do is find a date and time. Why don't we just use the 27th today? Robin wants to come in at 11 a.m. That's okay. I'm going to drag and drop this waitlist entry here into the calendar. So Robin is booked in for their first appointment for TMS. Okay. Now, if I go back to the workflow and hit show, I can see that there is a new stage of the TMS workflow, which is called request patient funding. Now, again, whether this is passed to another user or another group within the clinic, I'm not sure. I'm just doing it all today. So we're going to generate a letter, and we're going to send that one off. That letter will be drafted and will be saved to the correspondence section within the patient's account, as you can see by this note here. And I'm just going to skip ahead a little bit, and we're going to say, yes, funding was approved. And obviously we need to add in an approval number. I'll just put an ad hoc number in there. And now I'm going to hit approve. Okay, so this moves the workflow now to the stage in treatment 1. So again, I guess in normal practice, we would be leaving the patient's account. A couple of days later, would be checking. So, and because we're not doing that, we're staying in the same screen. But the user each time would just go into Robin's account and go down to workflow and see where Robin was up to within this workflow. Another way you could do it too is from a global view. So now I've actually opened up another browser which shows the global dashboard of CareRight. What that means is I'm not in a patient's account now, I'm looking at the company overall. And now if I go down to workflows, we can see we have a whole raft of patients in different workflows. By count, we can see how many patients are in each workflow. And as an admin person, I could just hit show and I could progress patients through different workflows. So this is the global view of workflows, is what I'm trying to demonstrate here. This is the patient-based view of dashboards. Okay, so now it's time for the user to embark upon in treatment stage 1. So I'm going to hit edit, and I can see the progress so far for treatment stage 1. But what should have happened is during this workflow here is because funding had been approved, automatically the system should have added 3 new TMS appointments within the waitlist. And same situation, whether a clinical person gets Robin on the phone and says, hey, we need to book you in for 3 appointments or not, I'm not sure, but we can now just do that. So I'm just going to go to tomorrow, and let's drag the first one in here. We'll do them all for 11 a.m. So that's the first one booked in. Next day, you may want to space them out by weeks or months or whatever, but just for a nice easy demo today, we're just going to space them a day apart. And last one is booked in. Okay. Now, if we go back a few days, I'm just trying to find that first appointment that I'd booked in for Robin. Well, first of all, let's go back and review the workflow. Okay, so we can see that Robin is still in stage 1 of treatment, and Robin will remain in stage 1 of treatment until the first 2 of those 3 TMS appointments are generated. And I'll talk soon what will happen after that second incident. So one thing I haven't introduced to you at the moment, from this view that you can see on the screen here, this is what I'd call the admin calendar view for CareRight. The clinical calendar view is converted very easily simply by going up and hitting list. And now instead of seeing all the calendars, we can see almost like a clinical panel. And obviously we'd have lots of patients booked in for a day, but for a nice simple demo today, I just have one. Now we discussed smart forms before and their ability. The other great thing we can do with smart forms is we can associate smart forms to different activities. So I've actually associated a specific CareRight smart form which relates to the appointment type TMS session. And this can be doctor specific too. Maybe a doctor or a care provider wants to work through certain activity as part of a certain clinical encounter. These statuses we can actually, these are configurable. So whatever you want, whatever type of statuses we can have in here, but I'm now taking patient into consult. So I'll update that. And all I have to do is click form. And this presents the smart form that I need to work through as part of session 1 of 3 approved TMS sessions. So we can see the activities date, user and time stamped. Just going to put some clinical notes in here. Clinical note, and we're going to hit approve. Okay, and you'll see once we complete that smart form, it goes from a selectable form to now only a viewable view button. And what that's also done too is it saved it to the clinical record. So everything is documented where it needs to be. Okay, we will now go back to appointments and now we'll go to tomorrow. Please keep in mind, I am oversimplifying this. Obviously weeks or days are passing in between these, but um, it's hard to demonstrate that within a demo. So now we're going to the next day or the next appointment, and we're undertaking session 2 of 3 TMS. So again, I'll go to list, which means I can access my form. And if I click on form, we can now see that we're still in treatment 1 of the workflow, but now we're conducting session 2 of 3 approved TMS sessions. I'm just going to put some clinical notes in there again and hit approve. So now if we go back to our workflow, we can still see we're within in treatment 1 because we have one more approved session to complete. But now there's also a treatment review activity that has populated on the screen. So let's take care of that. We're going to hit edit. Okay, and this is where the psychiatrist can put in their review. They can create a psychiatrist letter. You can make use of templates or you can ad hoc write. And we can also put in the option for continued treatment. Okay. So now if we go back to the appointment screen, we can see that a third appointment has been scheduled in the wait list. Or sorry, no, an appointment hasn't been scheduled. A third, an extra waitlist entry has been added. So we're just going to find, and again, we'd get the patient on the phone and say, patient, when do you think you could make it in? Let's just say that they can make it in on the 9th of October at 11 a.m. That's great. We will move this one over to here. And you'll see also, if I just click the list, just while I'm on this view, I can see that the psychiatrist review has been scheduled. And again, we could associate a specific psychiatrist review form to that appointment type. Okay, so now we'll just go back to workflow. So you can see the status has been updated. I could continue working on these workflows now. You can see I'm halfway through treatment 1 and I'm a good way through TMS treatment 2.1.1. Keep in mind that this is just an example of a TMS workflow today. The benefits of it is everything is standardized, everything is automated, and everything is streamlined for your users. So if you're trying to simplify a complex business process, CareRight workflows are excellent for that. If you're trying to standardize the way your users or admin people or clinical people move through different activities, CareRight smart forms and workflows are great for that. Keeping in mind that CareRight smart forms can kick off additional workflows. For instance, if something odd is noted as part of data capture, they can kick off another workflow to do something. Workflows can be passed between users and groups. Um, Workflows and smart forms can take part in online patient activities, i.e. you can send patients out online forms to complete and you can schedule that, you can automate it. And the other thing I would say about workflows is there's a full audit trail. So you can always search and report on exactly what happened, who did it, when they did it. But CareRight smart forms as part of workflows are 100% reportable too. So if you wanted to retrospectively or go back and review data, what had been done, or even just median or average data scores or outcomes that result from different data collecting events or workflows, you can do that within CareRight too. Just commenting one more time that this is just one example of how a TMS workflow can be conducted within CareRight. If your business processes or patient journeys deviate from this, we'd love to hear your requirements and we'd love the opportunity to be able to mock something to deliver upon those requirements. Thank you for your time.